Football Update with your host, Sean Spencer and Alex Loosemore.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy, Sean Spencer, one half of that dynamic duo that is Let's Talk Football. And it's Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen. It's Tuesday, so you know who I'm with. Host of Restoring the Roar, Alex Loosemore. What up, Alex?
Not too much, man. Big time football again this weekend.
Yes.
2 top 10 matchups, and round 2 of CFP rankings came out tonight. So yeah, great time for football.
Oh, absolutely. You saw my little thing on there. Link, I have some free time. My guy, can you keep it brief, Alec? Can you keep it brief? Because I'm at work and we trying to keep it brief, but I'll send you the link if you can keep it brief, my guy. Absolutely. You saw my little thing under my name. November football is the best. It's starting to get a little chilly outside. The pads are cracking a little bit more. It's lovely. Absolutely. And hey, everything means something right now. You know, for most teams, it meant something throughout the season, but right now, it really means something, man. You can't afford to lose right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. What up, Johnny? How you doing, buddy? How you doing? Yeah, buddy. So, hey, let's go ahead and get right into it. Week 10 college football scoreboard. You alluded to all of the crazy games. Obviously, Alabama, LSU. Georgia got some action. Penn State got action. Michigan. But let's start with Georgia. Let's start right at the top. Georgia remains undefeated. I mean, what can we say that hasn't already been said? You know what I mean? They got tested. Missouri gave them everything they can handle, but they buttoned it up towards the end. What do you think?
Yeah, that was a great game. All across the board, it went almost exactly how I expected it to. Missouri went toe-to-toe with them, and I think it was more just the inexperience of Missouri in those big games that cost them here. Brady Cook throwing that costly interception. And then he just wasn't himself in that final drive. Yeah. Through 4 not very good balls.
Yeah.
It was a great game for about 3 quarters and 10 minutes. And then you just kind of started to see the inexperience take over. Big win for Georgia, helps them boost that resume for that CFP. I think if they can win this weekend, I think they'll take the number 1 spot.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, look, they proved that they are the best team, in my opinion, as far as just continuing to answer the bell. You know what I mean? This game to me was something that I thought was going to be the upset. I thought this was going to be the one. Missouri was going to come in here and show, and to Missouri's credit, they fought and played as tough as they possibly could. Cody Schrader, you mentioned him last week for your game ball. This guy went right at Georgia's D-line, right at those linebackers, was not afraid, and I was loving that. And at one point in the game, I remember sitting there in the group chat being like, stop passing. Run the daggone ball.
Yeah.
Run it, because he's not afraid. He's getting 3, 4, 5 yards a pop. Keep running that rock, man. But,
they were having such a hard time stopping that outside zone, that stretch run.
Yes.
You could have done that 100 times, and the way it was going, it would have worked every time. Like, it was just the way they were blocking that, and Schrader running it on the outside and making that read off the tackle there was phenomenal.
Yes.
It just got to the point where there was too little time to keep running the ball, and with the score you had to throw. But yeah, I agree with you. It should have kept giving him the ball because it was working wonders for them.
Yeah. Absolutely. Look, and no disrespect to the offense of Georgia. Carson Beck, another good day, over 250 yards. Keeps going with 2 TDs, no interceptions. He's getting there efficient. Shout out again to our guy, Anthony Handy, who told us Brock Bowers is going down. The guy he said is going to pick it up, Lad McConkey, did exactly that. Lad, another great game, 7 receptions, almost 100 yards receiving. So shout out to Georgia. They still around, man. They're still around. Georgia only lost this year in championship game versus Michigan. Interesting. Oh man, Duke UNC Saturday. I'm hearing that Leonard can't go. Cherokee Parks will start. I'll take that. I'll take that. Yo, talk to me. What Alabama or Georgia? Obviously, that was a prime time. That was number one game. What? Talk to me about some of the other games that you saw.
Well, I was pretty intent on that Ohio State Rutgers game. It wasn't as spread apart as that score shows. Rutgers was in that game for about 2.5 quarters. And then again, just the inexperience of those big games. Wimsatt just wasn't able to get it to the pieces that he needed to. And Travion Henderson was a difference maker in this game. He showed why he's one of the better running backs in college football. Over 5 yards a carry, 22 carries, 128 yards, and a touchdown. I still feel like they're clearly the third best.
Yeah.
At best. Like, I think Georgia and Michigan are clearly ahead of them. But this is still a very good program. Good defense. Bad offensive line. They really need to work on that.
Yeah.
And I still don't really believe in McCord, but this is still a team that should compete for a playoff spot.
Yeah. And I mean, it's Rutgers. Shout out to them because at the end of the day, still have a great record. I believe they're 6-3 still.
Yep.
And you know what I mean? Which is a lot better than a lot of people expected. And they gave them a fight early, but Ohio State kept it rolling. And again, they're another one who, like you said, there's question marks. There's definite question marks. I questioned their defense before I saw what they did to Penn State, but still, it's things that make you go, maybe. But I think I agree with you that you got you two up here, and I think there's that gap. I think there's that gap between 3 and 4. Or 2 and 3.
Yeah, like this game with 14 minutes left in the fourth quarter was 21-16. So, and then Ohio State got the 2 touchdowns, one responding right away, and then one late in the game, both to Marvin Harrison Jr. But, if Ohio State keeps running this team out in 3 Saturdays from now, they'll get stomped.
Yeah, and that's going to be very interesting. Now, look, speaking of a team that they just played and had some trouble with, this team did not have any trouble this week in the Big Ten. Penn State just made a mockery of Maryland. My goodness gracious, how far has Maryland fallen in the last couple weeks? Went from being undefeated to this. I mean, shout out to Drew Aller, shout out to the running game. That defense stepped up. Penn State looked more like a top 5 type team, top 10 type of team that is. It's somebody that I'd kind of be a little not nervous, but definitely a little let me clutch my pearls going up this weekend for the noon game with you guys.
The fact that it's the noon game, I feel a little more confident. I think I'm still leaning a 2-score win our way. But Penn State got back on track with this game. Yes. If anyone can tell me in the comments how many rushing yards the leading rusher for Maryland had, I'll give you a hint. You can count it on one hand.
Yeah.
Their leading rusher had 4 yards rushing.
Yep.
Pathetic rushing offense for Maryland on Saturday. Now, I mean, it could just be the fact that Penn State just whooped them early, and then it came time to just throw the ball left, right, and center.
Yeah.
But yeah, Maryland team that we were saying was clearly the 4th best team in the Big Ten East and would go toe to toe with these top 3 teams and maybe steal one with Penn State coming to them or with Ohio State coming to them. You're 5-4 now. And you still got Michigan and Ohio State left on your schedule. I don't know who your last game is. It's at Nebraska this weekend.
Wow.
So if you don't win this game this weekend, you're probably not going to a bowl game.
Yeah. Yeah,
For a team that
that
we expected at like 9, maybe 10 wins, that is a fall from grace.
that's a major disappointment, man. I know. Hey, shout out to Will and Nathan, big Maryland fans, but for them to fall like that, and I think it kind of goes back to a little bit of what you said in the initial let's talk college football intro. Tua's a solid quarterback, but he still kind of has that backyard mentality. He's running around. Some of those passes do not look good. And at the end of the day, you can't turn the ball over. You can't, what I'm saying? You can't do that in a big game like this. You had 2 forced fumbles and 2 interceptions by Penn State's defense. They really put him in check. You talk about their leading rusher having, 4 yards? As a total, their team had negative 49 yards rushing. It was just...
I was leaving that one alone. I was just gonna say the leading rusher. Yeah, it was not good.
Yeah. Ben
not
said
even 250
Dean's,
yards of total offense.
Yeah. Ben said it's Johnny Dean's curse for those high Maryland expectations go. Oh, I mean, there's and look, I can say from this area, being in that Maryland, Virginia, that DMV, there's a lot of us that had high expectations. Loxley's really got those things going. You and I talked about this in the beginning of the year that Maryland could definitely test, and with how they started, we expected the start, but for them to fall the way they have is just. I mean, there's so many questions to ask. Is it coaching? Is it the players? They lost a lot of talent to the league. What is it, man? And it's frustrating to think about. So. Oh me, oh my. But let's move on down the list. I see we got Alec in here. What is going on, man? How you doing?
Do I sound good? Am I good to go?
Oh, you're good to go. You're good
Don't
to go.
worry, I'll keep it as brief as heck and I'll dip out. All I gotta say is remember the year 2014. The year Utah ran their mouth and beat us in Austin, right? And then what happened in the Pac-12 championship?
It's not happening. It's not
Came back and smacked them. And I don't care what Alex says. I don't care what Ben says. I don't care what Sean says. I don't care what Johnny Dean says. Oregon, don't let us get hot. Washington, you're next. That little
you're finally agreeing with all of us,
right?
All I gotta say is, everybody, watch out. I'm just gonna say it. If we beat USC, I think that secures our spot in the Pac-12 championship. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I believe you're right about that.
If we get that win Saturday, Washington, I hope you've been watching film, because Lord knows you guys haven't ever since you guys played us. You've been lacking, and don't worry, we'll catch you guys lacking, and we're gonna spank that butt in the Pac-12 championship and take that crown that you guys do not deserve ever. And Michael Penix will throw a pick 6 in the Pac-12 championship.
Wow, is that
I don't care, because that game should have gone that way. Dan Lanning made this terrible mistakes, and I don't care if it's. Everybody said that Utah would smoke us. Oh, where are those people at now? Quiet. Fucking quiet.
I'd like to say I did not say that for a second.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm not saying you. It's the D-bags that Pat McAfee and all them.
Oh, my goodness.
Utah's going to smoke them. Yeah, I fucking bet Pat McAfee.
Wow.
Continue doing your little podcast.
Well, look, talk to us. Still stay in the Pac-12. Talk to us. You're talking about that game. You guys playing Washington eventually. You're going to play USC soon. I mean, that was 52-42, a huge game. But the defense, both defenses, they still gave up 40 points, man. What do you think? What are you looking at this game? What did you think?
It's Pac-12 defense, honestly. It's just like I told everybody, USC is like the major one that has a Swiss cheese defense. It's how Pac-12's MO been. I'm not sure why. I don't know what it is. I guess they're more built on offense and they don't care about the defense. But the crazy part is there's a lot of defensive players that come out of Pac-12 and are stars in the NFL, which I still don't get that logic there.
Yep.
But
it's the schemes and the coordinators, not the players.
Shit, I'm glad USC made some changes. About time.
Lord knows, freaking time.
It didn't help.
But the thing is, that's why I'm not gonna bash USC, because facing USC off a loss like that, that's asking for questions, and I think that's gonna be a closer game than everybody thinks.
Mm,
I'm not putting US. I'm never gonna bash USC because I even said before the season USC is gonna be that one game that's gonna be a little close to for comfort
hmm
because I don't know. It's with how USC is. Like, yeah, their defense is fraudulent, but when it comes down to like Pac-12 matchups with Oregon and USC, I wouldn't put my finger on it being a blowout in that situation unless things get out of hand. But overall, the
Agreed.
Pac-12, I mean, I can't really say much on like because there's certain teams that are trending downward that had a
mm.
lot of hype going into the season. Like UCLA had a lot of
Colorado.
hype. UCLA
Yeah,
had a
Colorado.
lot of hype.
Yep.
They had all those transfer portal players,
Yep.
and then
Carson Steele, my guy.
and it's just like I mean I'm not putting it past Carson Steele. It's just maybe it's probably coaching in that
Mm,
situation,
yeah.
or it's how like everything was like maybe too soon with
It's a lot of
freshman court.
changes,
Yeah.
and
Young quarterback. Yeah.
So like I'm not gonna bash UCLA for that. It's the only team I can really bash is USC because that defense has always been like that. It never changes.
Always
It's
been rough.
rinse, wash, repeat with that
yeah,
team.
Yeah.
Like there's some years where Oregon has a bad defense, some years they have a good defense. Sometimes there's a year that Utah has a bad defense or a good defense.
hmm
But USC always stays consistent on having a bad defense. I'm not sure if it's just recruiting and they just don't want to do it or coaching.
All
But
that they're
even with
top
that,
heavy, man. Offensive heavy. They put
yeah.
all their weapons on the offense.
but yeah,
You know.
overall,
But look,
like
hey,
Alex
so
said, like Alex said on Saturday, I called it too early. Like, I'll, like the only thing that will bite my team in the ass is if we start slow, like we've done in the last couple of games, and then
mm,
steamroll after. Because there's when that rematch for Washington, we can't do that again.
yep.
hmm
Because that's the one team I will. There's a lot of Washington fans. I have screenshots,
Mm,
and I am ready to unload
receipts.
if Oregon goes to that Pac-12 championship, beats Washington. I'm gonna post every receipt
Wow.
saying Oregon's never gonna make it to the make it to the Pac-12 championship. They're never gonna win shit. Washington's clear on top. I bet. I've watched the last two Washington games like it was my job. Washington offense, what? Yeah, I freaking bet. Their
Yeah.
team is rattled,
Yeah.
and they're lucky. I, you know what, Ben? Worry about you. Worry about
Oh
FSU.
man.
Worry about FSU. Your resume does not. The strength of
Wow.
schedule is not going to be working in your favor in the next couple of weeks. So
Agreed.
worry about FSU,
FSU's got
buddy.
a cakewalk to the ACC title game.
Yep.
Worry about that in the committee. But
Mm,
overall, like with this team, like I don't know, like we're a curse for the college football playoffs, baby. We go so far and get so close, and then it gets shot away.
yeah.
It's always like that for us. I don't know why.
At
Maybe
this
it's
point, it's
just
winning you're in.
Yeah. Hey,
yeah.
it's all in front of you. It's all in front of you right now. But look, I do since we're in the Pac-12 and you talked about teams that got a lot of hype early and now they have kind of fallen off. I need to ask you the question: is Colorado going to make it to a bowl game this year?
I mean, you need like what 6 wins?
Yeah, and they
6
got
wins guarantees you, and then after that, they just kind of pick and choose.
See, the one thing that
Need 2 more wins.
I've noticed about Colorado as of late, like people. I mean, obviously, I bash them, but I have my legit reasons why. Want
yeah,
to step on our freaking logo for no reason.
yeah.
But
And ladies and gentlemen, if you have not seen that, go back and look at his
Oh,
rants.
so good.
He left is
So
no
good.
mercy.
but the thing is, like with Colorado, like people like I mean, I get it. People bash them because like they had all the hype going in, and it was like surrounded like all, media was surrounding them. That's over and done with. But I mean, I could see them getting a bowl game this year, but I feel like next year, I feel like they make the next step because they're that recruiting class they're getting. I mean, obviously it's gonna be the first year of Deion Sanders, so obviously it's not gonna be like all like flash like the first year.
Mm,
They're making some adjustments in the recruiting field, and I would not doubt it if like maybe I would say give it like 3 years for like them to like, be at the expectations that they wanted. Like next year's gonna be a stepping stone. Then probably getting like, ooh, I said maybe next year is like their peak in a
mhm.
way because they're like their main problem is their trenches, like their O line, the defense, like the defensive line, like their offense is good, but yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it
Hey,
past them. But I see him sneaking 2 wins. That's all
yeah.
they really need, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
need
that's
2
all you gotta
wins out of Arizona, Washington State, and Utah.
do. Yeah.
I
And
say
That's tough.
Arizona has
okay.
been playing great. We saw they just beat up UCLA 27-10.
Ooh, now that
Fafita
I
has
think
been
about it,
playing. Yeah.
now that I think about it, oh, it's like it depends on where the teams are at close to the end of the season because there's some Pac-12 teams that just give up. I mean, they'll still play, but they won't play as more aggressive. But oh, now you said the opponents. I didn't really look at their schedule like that.
Yep.
Yeah, oh, we'll see you next year, Colorado.
Well,
I think
Hey.
they'll steal 1 game and probably get picked to be in a bowl game. But
yeah. Because at the end of the day, we know the bowl committee still wants it's still the draw. Who's going to bring the fans? Who's going to get the excitement? And they'll still come for Dion, even though he has been struggling as of late.
They'll be going bowling in the Alamo Bowl.
Hey, they still play football there. Yo, Alec, hey man, hey, I appreciate this little Pac-12 update, man. And your brief remarks, my friend.
Don't worry, we'll be seeing you at New Year's Six Bowl. Not the
That's right.
CFB.
Let's
New
go.
Year's Six, and it better be North Carolina.
I'm ready. Quack quack, baby. Quack quack.
Quack quack. Y'all be safe.
Alec, Saturday. Are you free Saturday?
Saturday, I should let you know by Friday night.
All right, let me know, and we'll get you back on here.
I got you. Y'all be safe.
All right, yeah, man.
right.
Take care.
later, Alex.
Later.
Yeah, buddy. Love that little Pac-12 update we had
Yeah.
right there. Yo, real quick, let's go into the SEC. Obviously, we talked about Georgia. You had a number of big games in this one. A&M barely loses to number 10 Ole Miss. Comes down to the wire. Jackson Dart plays his butt off. LSU goes toe-to-toe with Bama until late in the game when Bama Milroe, who had 4 TDs, pulls away. And in this game, let me ask you a question, because we've talked about Milroe a lot. And we said, amazing athlete, built perfectly for college. But when you think about the type of things that you're going to have to do in the next level, I don't know if it's going to translate unless, like Jalen Hurts, he gets with a quarterback coach and starts working with that. How big of a threat is he in college for Alabama right now? Oh, did he freeze? Oh.
Yeah, sure did.
Saban said, hold on real quick before you answer that.
So last thing I heard was we were talking A&M Ole Miss.
Oh, yeah. Okay, no. So basically, long story short, just going over the SEC games, A&M losing a close one, 38-35 to Ole Miss. Jackson Dart had a pretty solid game. But I went over to the Alabama game. LSU went toe-to-toe with them for a good portion of that game until late. Jalen Milroe extended them, obviously had the 4 TDs. What is your thoughts of him? I like I said, he's built for college. He's got the best athlete on the field and all those things, but the little things, the stuff that translates into the NFL, maybe he has to work on that. The shorter intermediate passes, more touch on the ball, that type of stuff. But for college, what does this mean? What does he mean for this team, and what does this mean going forward?
He's mightily improved from the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Now, like you just said, he's still not.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think my buddy froze. I think he definitely froze. Yeah. Yo, so honestly, let us know what y'all think. Alex said, if Troy Franklin goes to Commanders, I might cry, man. Hey, if he goes to Commanders with Sam Howell, watch out. But hey, honestly, my thoughts. Okay, you back?
Yeah. Oh man, I don't know what's going on tonight, but
yeah, he kicked the monitor again.
Yeah, I don't know. I like with Milroe, solid college quarterback, won't be an NFL guy.
Yeah.
I thought I froze again because you froze on my screen. I was like, no. I was about to
not
scream.
again.
No, but he's giving them a chance. I
Yeah.
mean, he's hitting on the long balls, 15 to 23 for 219 yards. Those ain't short passes he's throwing.
Right.
And then 20 carries for 155 yards, 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
That's where he sets himself apart and gives Alabama the chance to win these games.
Yeah.
They're going to be in the SEC title game. I feel like had Daniels not been taken out of this game, they might have came back and won it.
Yeah.
But which, by the way, that absolutely was targeting.
Yeah.
Should have been targeting. Anybody that says it wasn't, you're wrong. That was textbook targeting. But didn't get called. It is what it is. Alabama's going to play Georgia in Atlanta. Unless they slip up here, then Ole Miss could still get in. But it's going to be Bama. I don't know that they can compete with Georgia.
Yeah. And that's going to be, and that was kind of my question. We know how good he appears. We know he is that offense. He's scoring all these touchdowns and everything like that. But can that equate? Can that level play? Can that equate to a victory in a Georgia game? Can he get past a defense like that? If that's all you really have, we know with the outside of what Burton. They're one of their only wide receivers. They don't have that many other threats out there. So I wonder if that will be enough for him to get over. But it's going to be a tall task. But I'm with you that I just don't think at least what else they have around him is going to help them. It's going to prevail them past Georgia.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we will definitely see. Real quick, I want to hit some quick little upsets because it needs to be said, and I've been talking about one of these teams. I'm a jinx, ladies and gentlemen. A couple weeks ago, I talked about OU. I said they were my number 2 team in the country. They lost. This week to Oklahoma State. Shout out to Oklahoma State. 5 wins in a row.
That was a great game.
Yo, they are playing outrageous. I mean, Gundy has got these boys, fired up and ready to go. And it's all behind that running game. Ollie Gordon, I showed you a stat where he has over 1,200 yards, and they put his stats up against Derrick Henry's and his Heisman year, and they were about equal. You know what I mean?
With a lot fewer carries.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And a little bit of a threat in the passing game. Ollie Gordon has just been playing balls to the wall, and they really have been forcing defenses to put more guys in the box, which is opening up that passing game for them. So it's rough for Oklahoma. We talked about their remaining schedule, and it was not going to be a cakewalk. And another fall from grace. Obviously, this knocks them out of any major contention for the CFP. So that one was huge. But the one I've been talking about, Air Force. Air Force played Army. None of us gave Army a shot. But these service academies, when they get together, and something I thought about, all these service academies, for the most part, play that triple option or play some form of that option. So they practice against it. They know. That's the one advantage if you play them, as opposed to other teams that might play and never have to play against that type of offense. If you play that offense, you have a leg up. And, obviously you can't turn the ball over. But after I talked about how great Air Force was, for them to get this upset, I'm a jinx, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just going to stop talking about teams, all right?
Yeah. That's just bad luck on your part, hyping these teams up and then for them to fall apart. Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah. So, and I don't know what to say. But look, I would have come to you real quick in the ACC. Notre Dame, another one that we talked about early. Sam Hartman, you guys are ranked 15th. They had 2 losses, could not afford to get another one, and they fall to a struggling Clemson team that seems to have fired Dabo Swinney up, man. What do you think about that one?
Yeah, this was probably the best version of Clemson we've seen all year.
Yep.
I feel like it's pretty safe to say that, either that or the FSU game.
Yeah.
And yeah, Notre Dame just, I don't know. They did not look good on Saturday, in my opinion. Didn't look worthy of that 15th ranking. If I'm honest, it was 20 to unranked, in my opinion. That kind of performance, and they're down at like 19, 20 now. I think they're 20 right now in the new CFP ranking. And the one thing is, if you're an Ohio State fan, you are very upset right now that Notre Dame lost.
Yep.
Because that and the Penn State win were the things keeping you ahead of Georgia and Michigan in the CFP.
Yeah.
Notre Dame's on their way out of the rankings, and Michigan's probably going to beat Penn State better than Ohio State did, which is going to knock that. Georgia's going to have 2 wins over top 15 teams probably at that point, which was the grace that Ohio State had. Georgia's going to push them. And then with Ohio State out of the picture, you make the argument for Michigan over Ohio State as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So, hey, and talk about strength schedule last week. That it plays a huge factor, especially the deeper you go into the season. And that's the difference between teams that are undefeated. You have to get those stronger games. And it's all about, okay, you won this one, but then all of a sudden it's dropping down, to, they haven't won, they're losing. And Notre Dame losing again, and this time, especially to a struggling Clemson team. It's rough. It's rough to see. But that's why you don't sit here and that's why the games are played on the field and not on paper. You know what I mean? We looked at both these teams beforehand, and we knew there's going to be some pieces lost from Clemson, and they've struggled even with Klubnik in there. But Notre Dame, man, we thought they were primed and ready to go to be up in that top position, but it still struggled. Still got some things to do, man.
I'm pretty sure I had Notre Dame in my initial CFP prediction that we did.
I did. I thought Sam Hartman was the X factor to get them up there.
Yep.
Oh, and if you would have told me that they would have whooped USC the way that they did, you know what I mean, and then taken Ohio State to the very last play of the game, I would have said, even with that loss, man, put them in that contention. But I can't justify the other 2 losses.
Nope.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you being here. We're almost done, and we're going to give you our game balls. Stay tuned Saturday morning, 10:30 a.m. Let's talk college football. Alec Schomburg will be back to help us talk Pac-12 and some storylines and things of that nature, and getting into that MAC conference race, ladies and gentlemen. 3 games in the MAC conference race played tonight. 3 games are playing tomorrow. So we'll recap those along as well as the other games during the week. But before we let you go, we want to give out our Week 10 game balls. This is where we thought had the best performance of the weekend. Alex, I'll come to you first. Who is your first Week 10 game ball?
Well, I'll go to the team that Alec loves to just kind of flip-flop on.
Right.
A guy that's been kind of a regular in my game balls. I'm going with Bo Nix again.
Yes.
29 to 38, 386 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception.
Yeah.
The dude is balling out on a regular basis. He's throwing himself right back into that Heisman race.
Yes.
Right up into that top 2 or 3. Playing phenomenally. And I think Kirk Herbstreit said it perfectly last week. Yeah, the top 4, they kind of deserve to be there.
Yeah.
The team out of every team in the country I would not want to face right now is Oregon. The way they're playing, I think they're going to beat Washington in that Pac-12 title game, and they will be a playoff team.
Yeah.
And that is a scary thought for those other 3 teams.
Oh, yeah. You do not want to see Oregon hitting on all cylinders. Watch it. And I'm not going to lie to you. There is a part of me that kind of wants to see a rematch of the first game of the season last year. Oregon, Georgia. I want Dan Lanning and Bo Nix to get that opportunity. And I mean, we saw them get skunked. I mean, it was ugly in that game to start off. I want to see them get the opportunity to get a rematch in that game and see. But I like that. My first game ball for the 3rd week in a row, I'm going Ollie. No, I'm not doing that. But I am staying with the running backs. I'm going to stay with the running backs. A guy that my guy Alex talked about last week. And if you know Scott Thaler, You know he shouts this guy's praises all the time. Cody Schrader, 22 carries, 112 on the ground and a touchdown. One of the things that I like to do when I watch a game is you watch the O-lineman, I watch my running backs. And I want to see, especially when I know they're coming up against a stout rush defense that is going to pin their ear back and focus on that running game. I want to see how that running back can hold up. The play calling was excellent. You talked about them running those stretches and Cody Schrader picking his hole and getting up in there. But when you get that contact and when you get it against a team that's really big and bad, I remember when we would play and, we'd see them, you kind of get a little intimidated when you're looking across the field at these guys. Oh, they look big. But then that first hit, you're like, these guys ain't that tough. Yeah. Let's go. And that's what I saw from Cody Schrader. He went rough right into Georgia's D line over and over and over. And there were times where they, get up and jump. Yeah. And he just hand the ball to ref, run back and just keep pounding. And I loved that. We had already been talking about how good this guy was, but with this type of a performance in this type of big time game, he kept them in this ball game. I got to shout this guy out, man. He showed me something, man. And that's definitely my game ball for this week. Who is your second game ball for this week, Alex?
So this guy didn't necessarily go against the stout defense. We talked about their defense earlier in the day. Defense was so bad, they finally fired their defensive coordinator. So I'm going with Dylan Johnson, the running back for Washington. This dude averaged almost 10 yards per carry. 26 carries, 256 yards, 4 touchdowns. Phenomenal game. And this is a team that's supposed to be super pass heavy. Penix, the leader for the Heisman, killing everyone in all the passing categories. And then you have this performance by a running back.
Yeah.
So great job by Dylan Johnson. Running left, right, center, all the way up the field. Amazing performance. He gets my second game ball.
Oh, I like that. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I definitely saw that one. And something told me, I know I told you this, something told me, I think Alex is going to do that one. I was like, I like it. But this is right up his alley. I love that.
Yeah.
Yo, and my second game ball actually was in a loss. K-State lost in overtime to Texas 33-30, but that quarterback for Kansas State, man, Will Howard had a game 26 of 41, 327 yards and 4 TDs, kept them in that game and had them going toe to toe with a Texas team that we all know Quinn Ewers is out, Malik Murphy's in. He did enough, but definitely want to shout out K-State. Will Howard kept them in this game, and we go back to a tough loss here. A tough loss on the longest field goal in SEC history against Missouri. Yeah. You take away a couple of these losses, and all of a sudden, K-State is right back where they were a year ago in the Pac-12 championship. So they've fallen off a little bit, but it's good to see that Howard is still playing, and he had himself a day-to-day. And hey, let's see if we can continue going forward this year.
So, yeah, I love that one.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. So look, ladies and gentlemen, yes, we appreciate y'all being here with us. This has been College Football Update. And hey, like we said, stay tuned this Saturday, 10:30. We will be back talking about previewing all the games that are coming up on Saturday, previewing some of these conference races. Like we said, the MAC conference race. Alec, we'll get Alec on here, see if we can briefly talk about the Pac-12 conference race and his Oregon Ducks. Maybe he'll like them. Maybe he won't. We'll see. But we always love him coming in here, giving his Pac-12 talk, especially with this being the last official year of the Pac-12. Now, we know there's those 2 teams, but all the main teams are going elsewhere.
Yeah.
So it's going to be quite interesting, ladies and gentlemen. But listen, we have to let you guys go. This has been College Football Update for your boy, Sean Spencer, my guy, host of Restoring the Roar, which I ask every week. Tomorrow. This weekend. Tomorrow. All right.
There's a game going on. I got to talk this week. So
yep.
No hiding this week.
Check out my guy tomorrow night. After Washington Football Weekly, he'll be doing Restoring the War, talking about his Detroit Lions. Oh, yeah, buddy. And you know what we'll be talking about, Washington. Barely got the W against a very poor New England team, but a win is a win. A win is a win. There it is. So, hey, we'll see y'all next time. Take care. Get some rest. Have a good rest of your week. Watch Maction. Watch that college football.
Yes.
What's going on? It'll be gone before you know it. Hey, check out college basketball, too.
Yeah, it's
W in that one, baby. Got a W.
We just had a nice win tonight. It was over a nobody school, but like we said, a win's a win.
Hey, well, look, I think my fiance would say there are nobody schools at powerful JMU team.
Yeah, the Dukes.
Oh God, so they lost to the Dukes, and then they got to play Duke coming up soon. So but we'll get into that. We're talking college football right now. Hey, we'll see y'all next time. Y'all take care, man, and have a good evening. Peace.
College football update with your host, Sean Spencer. Hey.